unfortunately, you won't be knowing actually the detrimental effect of these things early on until it all piles up and then you crash.
Yeah. And you can only know, unfortunately, in hindsight. In the moment, you may never know what is actually happening.
It's important to not wait until things go south
to
start engaging in these things.
Inform our feelings, inform our behavior, inform our mood and all those things.
The reaction will inform whether this is you responding to the situation or it's triggered by past experiences.
Talking or being told things, it's about having a space to reflect, having a space to challenge some of the thoughts that you've now entertained in your life.
Christians, can we seek counseling?
One of my friends went to a therapist and they started doing the healing stories.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Her Vibez series. We're so excited to have you. And today we have part 2 of Her Mind Space. If you haven't watched part 1, please go back and watch it. It was beautiful. It was amazing. And today I have with me again my beautiful friend Tino. And not only is she one of my best friends, but she is a professional in the mental health space as well. And she's on fire for God. So I'm so excited to have her. Hi, Tina. How are you?
I'm good, Mbai. How are you?
I'm doing great. And thank you for coming again for part 2. Part 1 was so exciting and it was beautiful.
It was good. I'm excited for this next part.
Yeah. And so we'll just get right into it. Tino, what are some of the signs that we can pick up when there's a shift in our mental health?
Yeah. So when it comes to mental health, it's important to know yourself. Like when things are going well, what does that look like for me? When things are not going well, what does that look like? So then you can seek help if you need to, or start doing things that help you feel better. For example, things that we can notice particularly around sleep. You know yourself. When things are going great, you lie down, you're gone. You're already sleeping. But when there's stress, when maybe your mental health is starting to take a dip, you might notice that, you toss and turn 30, 40 minutes before you actually fall asleep. We also pay attention to things like your appetite. When things are level, usually appetite is good. You don't need motivation to eat. But you might find that when things are not going well, appetite may increase or may reduce. So those are things that we can start to notice within ourselves. We can also even notice, like with the motivation in the morning. Like I know it's winter now. We're going into winter, so the motivation in the morning is not as much. But you know your usual self that it doesn't take you 5 minutes thinking about getting out of bed. But when things are not going well, you might find, you need a little bit more motivation, more talking to yourself before you get out of bed. So those are some of the things that we can start to notice. But what I would say is knowing yourself when things are going well, and then you can then know or notice when things are starting to take a dip.
Yeah. I like what you said about knowing yourself. So that means we have to take time to get to know us. Because I think also in a world where everything is so fast-paced, you always needing to do something with somebody else.
Yeah.
If it's going for coffee, you're going with a +1.
Yeah.
I think that also touches on the importance of making time for us and getting to know us.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way that we can see that there is a shift.
Yes.
And having seen that shift, when somebody has seen that shift, what are the practical steps that they can put in place? What can they do when they start to see that their mental health is dipping a little bit?
Yeah. So again, it goes back to knowing yourself and knowing what works for you. Because what works for me might not necessarily work for you. It's not a one-size-fits-all type situation. So what some practical steps that people can take? For example, sometimes maybe work has been stressful. Like it's go, go, go. But you know that when you call me, we are going to chat about things. We might not even chat about what is happening at work, but leave that conversation feeling refreshed. So it might be calling a friend or family. It might be going to the gym. Just, go smash your workout, feel better afterwards. It might even maybe, is it your sleep that you've been robbing throughout the week that is now catching up with you? So getting some rest. Is it making something nice for yourself to make yourself feel good again, or just feel like you too deserve something nice? So doing things that works. I know the internet might suggest a range of things, but knowing what works for you, because like I said earlier, what works for me might not necessarily work for you.
Yeah. And I also think it's important to not wait until things go south
to
start engaging in these things.
Yes.
I just believe that you also need to be taking practical steps to take care of you.
Yeah.
Even when things are looking bright and sunny.
Yeah. It's the way I think about mental health, or the way I often explain it to people, is it's like running a car. If you don't service your car, if you don't maintain your car, if you don't fuel your car, it's going to come to a standstill one day. But for our mental health, we don't want it to come to that point. So we talk about, in mental health, we talk about maintenance, or like recovery and wellness plans, where you are maintaining your wellness. Things that you do day to day for us as Christians might be making sure that I spend time in the Word of God, reading and being reminded of His promises, so that when time comes that I need to actually use that word, it's there within reach. Maintaining general things. Sleep, I can't emphasize enough. We need to sleep more. Reducing even what we are taking in. I think last time we were talking about our mindset and how it informs how we feel, our mood and things like that. Day in, day out, am I monitoring what I'm taking in? If I'm going to the internet and spending time watching people within my age range who are living outside of what is within reach for me, that is going to stress me out. So filtering some of those things.
Yeah.
Day to day practice, not waiting until, like you said, until things are no longer working and we're deep down and
Yeah, that is true. I love the part where you said making sure that we are studying the word and taking in the word, being intentional about that, and being intentional about connecting with our fellow believers as well.
Yeah.
Making that time to go, to church on Sundays, to go for connect groups, cell, Bible study groups, I think that's important. And I think that's one of the things that I think can easily be pushed aside when people are busy.
Yeah.
It's so easy for people to just say, oh, you know what? I'm so busy with uni. I'm so busy with school. I'm not even going to go for the cell. I'm not going to go for connect.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you won't be knowing actually the detrimental effects of these things early on until it all piles up and then you crash.
Yeah.
And so I think that is so, so important. Yeah.
Using the analogy of the car, I guess for us it would be the fuel will be reading the Bible by myself. The water in the car might be going to connect, going to church, the service, the regular maintenance. Because like you said, when you're doing good, like managing day to day, you might not necessarily realize that the water is running out or the fuel is running out. It's when it runs out completely and you're like, oh. And now maybe you're in the middle of nowhere and it seems like there's no support. So doing those things to maintain our mental health. Yeah.
And so as individuals, I'm going to ask you, this is very, not difficult, but I think it's a question that is not asked enough.
Yeah.
It's a topic that's not discussed enough. How can one recognize if their response to a particular situation is informed by past experiences versus I'm just responding to the situation? Okay. So as in, you find that there are some people that maybe in the past they had a bad experience with something. Maybe, should we say, we can even take friendships that they they experienced betrayal, they had bad experiences with friendships. And then now they're coming into this friendship that is so wholesome and supportive, but their behavior and attitude towards that friendship is not in alignment with what's actually happening.
Yeah.
So how can somebody recognize that discrepancy, that actually, you know what, I'm responding to this. I'm responding to Tino this way, not because of what Tino did, but because it's triggering
some past traumas. Yeah. Yes. So that's a very interesting question. I think you can only know, unfortunately, in hindsight. In the moment, you may never know what is actually happening. But some of the things that can inform us to say this is not about this situation, it's some past traumas that are being re-triggered here. The intensity of your response. For example, let's say I'm in urgent need, I'm calling you, you're not answering. Maybe you're at work or something. But I've had friends who were maybe lukewarm and not there for me when I needed them. My response to that can be, despite you showing evidence to say, or maybe even calling 5 minutes after, or showing evidence, coming back to me and providing reassurance, say, I was in a meeting. My response, if it's so intense, I need to pause and reflect to say, is this about my interaction with Mbai, or is it bringing up things from the past that are now showing up in this relationship or in this new friendship? Another thing that we can notice is how we feel in our body. I think we mentioned earlier, knowing yourself. If it starts to bring some feelings that you may have experienced, like in the past, more like flashbacks, like if you feel deserted from someone not answering your call, then you need to stop and explore to say, is this about the phone call that was missed, or is there more to this feeling? Is it about me feeling how I felt in the past when maybe I felt deserted by someone who was special to me? So the intensity of the response, but also how we are feeling within our body, what memories does the body remember that are starting to come up in that moment.
Yeah. And I also think that it goes back to knowing ourselves, because when you know yourself, right, you know that at baseline, this is me. And even when you get annoyed, get disappointed, angry at something, you're still within that baseline.
Yeah.
So when you find that you're going beyond that baseline, like you were saying, that the intensity of the reaction will inform whether this is you responding to the situation or it's triggered by past experiences. And one key thing that I took away from you was asking yourself that, have I felt like this before?
Yeah.
Is this a feeling that is familiar?
Yeah.
Then you are then able to trace it back.
Yeah.
And so I also think it also touches on the fact that we should also allow God to heal us, because even the Lord Jesus himself, the scriptures mention that he came to heal the brokenhearted. And sometimes I think that we overlook that and we don't connect with that. But God actually knows our hearts, and he cares for our hearts, and he takes care of our hearts, and he heals our hearts as well. Not only when we speak about healing, not only is it about our physical bodies, but it's also about our heart. And being able to lay everything bare in front of God. You know, I experienced this. He knows the past traumas. But it's about opening up to him and giving him that space to heal the past trauma. Yeah. And I'm just reminded right now of the scripture that says, behold, I am doing a new thing. Do not dwell on the past. Behold, I'm doing a new thing. And when you have that healing internally, when he heals your heart, he also gets you to that place where you're able to see the new thing, where you're able to see the new relationships that he has put in your life. And you do not dwell on the past anymore.
And our God is a God of restoration too, to say, yes, we may have experienced in the past friendships that were not fulfilling, but when it comes to restore, he will give us people who heal parts of us that were broken before, and maybe someone who might reaffirm you as a good friend, or even like just provide the little things that you may have missed, because that's who God is. He restores what we have lost, and He gives us in abundance as well.
Yeah. And so, speaking about God healing our hearts, as Christians, can we seek counseling?
Can we seek counseling as Christians? I think from the stories that we see in the Bible, there's so many times when they, like, important figures were seeking counsel from one another. Not so much like in a therapeutic way that I suppose the question is referring to, but we can seek. There are Christian counselors, there are Christian therapists. I'm training to be one.
Oh, I can't wait for that. That is so beautiful. Yeah. Because we need so many of them, right? Yeah. There isn't many of them. So you have to do that and finish it.
Yes. To your question though about seeking counseling, it's so it can be in a formal space. It can be informal, because sometimes I might be battling something. Well, for me, it might feel huge. But if I'm doing it by myself, like we're talking before, that our thoughts inform our feelings, inform our behavior, inform our mood, and all those things. Imagine, let's say, because we've talked a bit about things that I'm anxious about. Let's say I'm anxious about applying for a job. I don't feel qualified and all these things. If I'm just by myself, I'm going to ruminate over all those things to a point where I might even disqualify myself from the rest. But if I seek counsel from a colleague or from a friend like you, then you might remind me of those scriptures. So in an informal way, talking about things is very important, because when I'm by myself, it might look like a big mountain. But if I'm talking to you, like, out, and then remind me of some of the promises that I might have forgotten. But from a formal perspective, like seeking counseling or therapy, people have a misconception sometimes about what it is. It's not me telling you that you need to live your life this way, but it's providing that space for reflection. What we often do in therapy, or what we're being trained to do, is to help the person listen to what they are saying. So having therapy, I think it's important for Christians to seek therapy, so then we don't stray away from what God is saying in our lives. It might be important to, when you're looking up, to see people describe what they offer. See if they start doing things that are a bit, then you can step away from it. But they are Christian therapists, and it's important to seek therapy because it allows you space to reflect. There are things that maybe I might not be able to share with my friends. Having formal therapy is good because it helps. It's not just about talking or being told things. It's about having a space to reflect, having a space to challenge some of the thoughts that you've now entertained in your life.
Yeah. I don't know about other people, but I think in the past, what has made me wary about counseling is that as time has gone by, the counselors that we have today are not the same counselors that we had back in the day.
Yeah.
And you don't really know what they believe, because when you read sometimes their profile on the website, you're like, I'm not really sure that I want to be interacting with somebody who has this kind of beliefs. And I think that's what has, in the past, has made me worry about it, because people are believing in so many things now, right? That you're just not sure what they believe. And you go there and you're going to be having an open space, open conversation, being vulnerable to them, and you don't know what they want to say and what they believe. Yeah.
One of my friends went to a therapist and they started doing the healing stones. That is that is so far out of her beliefs, because she's a Christian too. Yeah. But one of the things that I would say is, when you're in a therapy space, that's your space. Number one, you're also paying for it. No. You can stop and be like, no, this is not something that I'm interested in. and you seek to see someone else. And you can Google Christian therapists as well.
What I'm trying to say,
Yeah.
for example, with your friend, most likely there was absolutely nothing on that counselor's profile that said that they were going to be using some stones.
Yeah.
And then she gets there and there's stones involved. I mean, that would make somebody a little bit wary about seeking counseling again next time.
Yeah.
And I hear you about the Christian therapists, but
Yeah.
there isn't a lot of them. There isn't many of them.
True. There's not many therapists, but a therapist is like a hairdresser. The first hairdresser you go to, you might not gel with. You need to keep looking to find someone that you can talk to. But I think this is the message that I would leave with is it's important for us to have spaces that we can talk about things. Like I started, it doesn't have to be formal spaces. Have someone in your life whom you know that they can be honest and truthful. They're not just going to validate you all the time. Like I go there wallowing, you're validating, we're both wallowing. No. Someone who can say to you, but have you looked at it this way?
Yeah.
Have you considered what the other person was thinking or feeling in that time? Not just like go along with you, not a yes man. So if formal counseling is not something that one might be interested in, finding people that you admire or people that you think can speak life into you.
Yeah, absolutely. And what are some of the grounding techniques that people can use when it all just feels overwhelming?
Yeah, I'll start with one that I use at my desk. Because I work in a very high pressure job. One of the things that I have is just having the Bible verses stickers in my space. So then I'm reminded, like, one of the verses that I like, lead me to a place that is higher than I am, because sometimes I just feel like I'm drowning and I need that space that's higher. So those are some of the things, having Bible verses around that can help you feel grounded again. Practical things that you can do, sometimes say in the moment if you are starting to feel quite overwhelmed, pausing to say what 5 things that I can see. What like sounds can I hear? What can I taste? Things like that. It might be just breathing, calming down your breathing. It can help slow down the heart rate so you're able to refocus and think again. Sometimes it's removing yourself from the space that you are in. If you are finding that maybe, I don't know, you're in a public space that you're finding quite overwhelming, stepping away and then coming back again when things are more settled.
Yeah.
You hear things like feel the ground where you're standing. That just means to stop and pause and be more cognizant of what is happening around you, to ground yourself. Then you can re-enter the conversation, you can re-enter the community when you're feeling more grounded.
Yeah, and I love what you were saying about having scriptures as well at your desk.
Yeah.
I really love that. We need to create an atmosphere of faith, an atmosphere of grace, an atmosphere of love.
Yeah.
And we can do that in the small things. It can literally be the music in your room, the music in your house, the music in your office. All of those things. We need to create the right atmosphere.
Yeah.
An atmosphere of faith.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the end of Her Mindspace Part 2.
Yeah.
This has been so beautiful, Tino. I'm
thank
so
you for
grateful.
having me.
Thank you so much. And I've loved my time with you. And to all of you guys, thank you for being a part of this beautiful conversation. Please like, share with all your friends. Follow us on the social media pages. We love you so much. Until next time. Bye.